Hi children, this is Manoj Kumar, your new physics teacher, and today as a first chapter I am going to start the 11th lesson in your science textbook, that is force and pressure. Force and pressure, right. So here, whenever you want to enter into a what you call a shopping mall, then on the door they use it to write push or pull, either push or pull. So as per their instructions, if it is push, you are going to push the door like this. You should not touch the handle. Actually, this is the corona time, it is not safe to touch the handles of the shopping malls, right? So variety of people they may come to avoid to prevent the spread of corona. Simply you should push with the elbow, right? So whatever it may be, you are pushing the door, right? And after that, when you are coming out of the mall, then they indicate pull. When you are entering, they said push, and after that they said pull, right? So you pushed it and you pulled it, pushed it and pulled it. Don't try to pull it with the elbow, it won't come, right? Now you may sanitize your hand and then pull it, right? So here in this case, you push the door and you pull the door. And next, one more example. Whenever a person is taking water out of the well, so with the help of rope, he is going to pull the rope, right? When he pulls the rope, then the bucket slowly comes out of the well with the water, right? Next, another example. If a lady wearing a heel, pointed heel, slipper, if she place her leg on her foot on your foot, what happens? It hurts very much, right? You are going to shout, oh my god, you killed me, right? Whereas if the same lady, if she wear normal flat chapel and she accidentally she put her leg on your foot, do you shout that much with the heel? No, it hurts very less. The flat chapel hurts very less. In these two cases, the lady weight is same, but in case of heel, you got more hurted, whereas in case of flat chapel, you didn't get any hurt, but less than that heel, right? So why all these things happen, right? So you are going to get the answers by the lesson force and pressure. Force and pressure, right? So here, actually the force is a physical phenomenon. It comes under physics, right? So let me explain you actually what is science. What is science? Will you say what is science? Right? So science means knowing new things. Science means knowing an unknown thing. Knowing an unknown thing, that too with proof. Knowing an unknown thing with proof. Here definitely we require the proof. Why? Because we are scientists. We should not trust anything without doing any experiment, right? So don't do the crazy experiments, right? So knowing an unknown thing with proof. Knowing, letting you know what unknown thing. Unknown is new for us. Always unknown is new for us. So knowing a new thing, that too with proof. If I say water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, that is the new thing to use for suppose. So you just go and boil the water at 100 degrees Celsius, then it becomes vapor. Then you come to a conclusion that okay, it is true. So science always require proof. So knowing an unknown thing with the proof is called science. In the science, there are sub branches like chemistry, physics and biology, right? Here, physics. Tell me what is physics? What is physics? Right? Physics is the subject which deals with the study of the position and situation of the object. The position and situation of the object can be studied in physics. So position and as well as situation of an object. Position and situation of an object can be studied in case of physics. And the position and situation, they include the physical phenomena, light, sound, okay, force, pressure, right? All they come under physics, right? And next, chemistry. What is chemistry? Here you studied the position and situation of the object, whereas in chemistry we are going to study the nature of the object. Nature of the object. For example, salt crystal, common salt crystal. It is solid. It is solid, white crystal. Solid, white crystal. These three are physical properties. Means about the position of the material, situation of the material. Whereas the nature of the object, actually common salt, it is neutral salt. The nature of the salt is neutral, right? That is chemistry. And next, biology. What is biology? Knowing about living things, simply knowing about living things. Here surely I can say that physics and chemistry, they belongs to non-living things and biology belongs to living things. If you apply biology to the physics, it becomes biophysics. If you apply chemistry, biology to the chemistry, then it becomes biochemistry, right? So these are branches of science. A little introduction about science, right? So in our actual lesson, that is force. Force is a physical phenomenon. It is a physical phenomenon, and we unable to see the force. We are unable to see the force, but we can feel the force, right? So here, let us see what is the actual definition of the force. Force is an applied push or pull on an object. Force is an applied push or pull. Push or pull. So a push or pull on an object is called force. Is called force. So here what happened? Either push is applied or either pull is applied on an object, right? Either push or pull is applied, then it is called as force. It is called as force, right? So here let us take some examples of pull or push, right? Already I told you about the door. And next one, when you push something, then you are going to apply the force. You are going to apply the force away from your body. Away from your body means you are pushing. Means I am applying the force away from my body. It is called push, right? And whereas pull force, here pull force is that you are going to pull pull something. You are going to pull something. So here the pull will be applied towards us. For example, if I want to push this duster, see, I am pushing, means out of my body. The force is applied away from my body. If in case of pull, then I am applying the force towards my body. towards my body. See, push out of the body, pull towards the body, right? So here push always it go away from the body and pull always comes towards the body. Just remember this pull and push forces, right? So here force require interaction. Very important word. Force require interaction. What is meant by interaction? We know very well what is an interaction. Interaction between two people, if you say, means they are communicating together, they are relating together. So here, to apply the force, definitely there should be interaction between the two things, whatever it may be the things, but there should be interaction between the two things. Interaction is nothing but simple form, it is touch. Not in all cases I am saying, just the two things should be touched, they should be connected each other. Means the one thing should apply force on another thing, and one thing should same reciprocal. What is meant by reciprocal? Means crisscross, vice versa. Here the duster is applying force on my hand and my hand is forcing the duster. So here my hand and duster, they are in interaction. Then there may be applicable of the force, or otherwise there is no force will be applied when there is no interaction. So simply interaction is nothing but applying force on each other, applying force on each other. So every time there should be interaction to generate the what you call force. Let me explain you in simple example. For example, here it is the car and it gets troubled, right? And a person is here. Do person touch the car? No. Do car change the position? No. In second case, don't think the car size and something. Right. So in situation A, what happened? The person, he didn't touch the car. So there is no force is generated. There is no rising of force. Why? Because there is no interaction between the two things. That's why there is no movement in the car. Whereas in the picture B, when the person applied force on the car, his hands touched the car. His hands touched the car, so that there is interaction. Here it is the interaction. Due to this interaction, what happened? The car moved from place X to Y. The car moved from the place X to Y, right? So here by this example we can say that there should be interaction between the two objects to generate the to generate the force, right? Have you understood what is interaction? Right. So now let us see the force units. What are the units for the force? What are the units for the force? The units for the force are Newton. Say Newton. Sir Isaac Newton? No, right? It is Newton, given on his name. It is Newton. The SI unit of force. The SI unit of force is called Newton. The SI unit of force is called Newton. So here, if you say I applied 1 Newton weight or 1 Newton force. 1 Newton force is equal to whatever the force you applied on 1 kg object. 1 kg object, and you moved it 1 meter per second. 1 meter per second. So 1 Newton is equal to applied force on 1 kg object. For example, it is 1 kg object, and whatever the force that I applied to move this 1 kg object from here to here, from beginning this point to this point, with what speed? 1 meter per second. 1 meter per second. So applying force on 1 kg weight to move it 1 meter per second, it is called 1 Newton. Then you should say the force is applied is 1 Newton. Right? Have you understood this? What is meant by Newton? Newton is a SI unit of force. Right? And 1 Newton is equal to the force applied on the 1 kg weight to move 1 meter per second. Right? And now let us see the types of force. Before that, there is a crazy thing about this force. See, magnitude. Force contained magnitude. Force contained magnitude. What is meant by magnitude? Magnitude means bigger, right? Means it can grow. The force can grow. For example, there is 10 kg rice bag. Me and my child, means my kid of 3 years, went to shopping, went to that mall, and we purchased the 10 kg bag. I can easily lift the 10 kg bag. Do my child can able to lift? No, right? So here the force contains magnitude, right? Whatever the applied force is there, it can be increased. It can be increased by applying more force, right? So let me explain you with example. Right. When force is applied in opposite directions, when two forces are applied in opposite directions, then the net result is difference between two forces. Let me explain you this. Right. When two forces are applied in opposite direction, right? So here it is a box. Right? And here you, and here your friend, right? So here both of you applying force in opposite direction on the box, So in this situation, the force applied on the box is difference between the two forces that applied. For example, the A person applied 20 Newton force, whereas the B force applied 40 Newton force. Then what it will be? 40 minus 20 equal to the applied force is 20. Don't add them. This person is adding 20 Newton and this person is 40 Newton, so total it becomes 60 Newton. That is wrong thing, because the forces are acting in opposite direction. When you are going to add, when you do the addition, when forces are in the same direction, when forces applied in same direction, then what happens? See, this is you and this is your friend. Both are applying on the same object to push. Then what happens? Your energy is 20 Newton, your friend force is 40 Newton. So totally 60 Newton force is applied on the box to push it. Whereas here the directions are opposite. The force directions are oppositely applying on the box. so that we should do the subtraction. Okay, one doubt. What happens if my friend 2 applied only 20 newtons? Then say the directions are opposite. So simply subtract. Then 20 minus 20, the net force is 0. So whenever two equal forces are applied on the object, then the object will be stable. When the two forces are applied on the object equally and oppositely, then there is no movement of object. The force applied on it is 0. Right? So we'll discuss more about this with examples in the next part. Right? Thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. I am ready to clarify. Right? Thank you very much.